am back from, let's get the card from the record store. I am back from Mount Clemens, Michigan. Didn't even know there was such a place. Anyway, I went to Weirdsville Records, serving piping hot wax since 2011. And it is in Mount Clemens, Michigan, which is probably 12 miles up the road from me. Okay, so let's discuss what I got there. But first, before we get into all that and what the little store was like. Actually, it was a little store. Let's look at this. I received this thing in the mail. And this is a thrash metal band from this, I guess, the San Francisco Bay Area. I showed one of their albums before, and the one I showed before was their first one. This is their second album. And this is Swallowed in Black. And this is a thrash metal, screamy, evil, snarling mess that is just wonderful. Really fun to listen to. Like I said, thrashy, speed metal, but not fancy. But creative and very easy to listen to again and again. And here's what the record looks like. And it came with a very sturdy lyric sheet, which was impressive. So if you're into thrash, speed, DRI type metal, Sadus, at least the first two records, because that's all I've heard, are for you. Okay. You know what? I need a friend here. I'm going to go get a friend. Hold on. Okay. I feel much better with him here. Anyway, let's look at what I picked up for a little bit of money from Weirdsville Records in Mount Clemens. That's hard to remember. Mount Clemens, Michigan. All right. First up is The Bad Religion, I guess, biography, Do What You Want, hardcover edition. It's very wordy, just like the band, Bad Religion. I haven't read it yet, except for like the first chapter, and it's, I don't know, I haven't read it yet. First chapter's okay. Not a lot of curse words. But anyway, this is the story of Bad Religion, Do What You Want, and I picked this book up there. I'm sure I will enjoy it. Okay. Second book I picked up, which I did look through this, and this book is amazing, wonderful, and many other things. This book is called Texas is the Reason, The Mavericks of Lone Star Punk, Photography by Pat Blashill. Are you ready to see this? Bam, there it is. The hardcore Texas punk photo album. This book, the quality of this is out of sight. It's a wonderful thing. And it's, geez, this thing's brand new, I can tell. And it's a photo album. For the most part. There's some writing in it, but for the most part, it's a photo album. There's the lead singer of the Big Boys. There's the Butthole Surfers playing outside as a young band. There's photos of an apartment and some people. There's more people attending a punk show, maybe after a punk show, in the Lone Star State. There's Gibby from the Butthole Surfers, holding a dog kind of backwards and upside down on his back. I don't know who else this is. I'll have to read it. And what band? Doctor's Mob. There's a band called Doctor's Mob that I've never heard of. There's a few bands in here that I need to check out because they're new to me. Hey. And here's where the writing begins. This is called, the beginning of this little chapter is called Someday All the Adults Will Die. What a start to a paragraph. Hey, and there's a picture of Devo when they first came to Texas. Anyway, we'll end it with that. This is definitely worth the $30 that you'll pay for it. It's out of sight. It's Texas. Okay. Here's a record that I picked up at the store today as we get into the vinyl. And this is the newest teenage singing group, the Munsters, inspired by the TV characters The Munsters. So this is a repressing of a very, very old record. Well, I guess old record. Not very, very old. Of a little musical group that the television people that produced the Munsters put together, singing songs inspired by the little TV show. So this is very surfy, groovy. Yeah, this is surfy and groovy. It helps if you speed it up. This is what the vinyl looks like. There. Oh, that's scaredy, kids, isn't it? Oh, that's very scary. Very Halloween type vinyl. And it's not punk rock or anything like that. It's just kind of 60s TV show type music singing about the Munsters. Okay. The guy who ran the record store is in a band that's local to this area called the Amino Acids. And they're like a surf punk type instrumental thing. And he had this little record for sale. I don't know why I didn't have him autograph it. I talked to him for like 20 minutes because he was trying to get me to join a religion that was called the Subgenius thing. Anyway, it's this goofy little religion that Peewee Herman is in. The guys from Devo, Jello Biafra, lots of famous people are in this goofy little religion that is based around the worship of slacking, meaning not doing a job that somebody else wants you to do, but doing a little task that you want to do where other people might come across you, see you doing it, and say, hey, you're slacking. And the religion is the celebration of that. Hence, the name of this little record is Theme from the Slack Hole by the Amino Acids. And this is a really groovy record. If you dig surf music with a kind of a hardcore edge, this little baby's for you. This thing came with a little sticker. And this is what the vinyl looks like. And the guy I was talking to, I think he was the drummer of this band. And actually, I was going to go see this band once, and there was another show going on, and I already had a ticket to that show, so I went to that one. And as soon as that immunization is out and about, they might start having shows again, and I can see the Amino Acids live and maybe get the whole band to autograph this thing. But anyway, the guy told me in the record store, he goes, Paul Rubin, which is Peewee Herman, joined this little religion, but didn't pay the $35 fee, which this religion promises that after you die, if you don't reach the eternal bliss that they promised, they will give your money back threefold, which is a joke. But I asked the guy, I go, well, as far as the money back guarantee goes, do you give it to the family members? And he goes, I never thought of that. Anyway, Paul Rubens joined up, but he didn't pay the fee. So the drummer, I think the drummer from this band, paid the fee for him. And then he called up, somehow found Peewee Herman's phone number, called him up and said, hey, I paid your fee into the church of the Subgenius. And he says he said that was sometime back in the 90s. He says every year he has received a gift and a Christmas card from Peewee Herman. Anyway, that was kind of a funny story to listen to while buying records. Again, this is on Bellyache Records, and it's really groovy to listen to. Enough about them. I also picked this up, The Gun Club, live in London, 1983. And here it is. The running time of this record is about 48 minutes. You definitely get your $20 worth on this thing. It's out of sight. It's the Gun Club live. And, oh, this is funny. At this concert where this was recorded, the warm-up acts were the Sisters of Mercy, New Model Army. That's kind of funny. Anyway, if you're a fan of the Gun Club, this is worth buying. Last and not least of all, this is the BBC Sessions 1977 to 1979 of this right here. The songs on this thing are Love and a Void, Mirage, Metal Postcard, Suburban Relapse, Overground, Hong Kong Garden, Placebo Effect, Helter Skelter, Carcass, Playground Twist, but not them. If you speed this up a little bit, this is a great punk rock record. Just early Susie and the Banshees, before they became something like The Cure. Out of Sight, worth picking up, and it is on Swing Shift Records, United Kingdom. And nothing came in this. No poster, no nothing. So this is like, I guess, a bootleg. And they could have thrown a poster or stickers or something in here to cover I think this was 15 bucks. Anyway, that's it. That was my trip to that little store. On the outside of the store, they had this big cart with all these old records in it where, you could just take them. It said free records. And I picked up a couple of funny little old 60s records. And on the inside, to separate the bands and the genres, they had like the top of an actual record album, and they'd taken a marker and written like The Cars, or Gary Newman, or AC/DC. And I thought that was a nice touch. And the bookstore part of it was out of sight. They had all the interesting books. There were children in there with their parents buying children's books that were kind of obscure. And I definitely would... Their punk rock section was kind of lacking. It was like a general record store. Even though it was called Weirdsville, there wasn't really anything weird about it. But as far as the layout of the store, the people who ran the store, and what they had for sale and their prices, I would give Weirdsville Records in Mount Clemens, Michigan, a good rating. It was a pleasant experience, and in a couple of, well, not in a couple of months, it's going to be snowing in a couple of months, but maybe in the spring, I'll go back there and give them some money. Okay, that's it. And I'll have to have you back for more videos. All right, good night.